Okay, my friends, I have no idea how this is going to work in editing because this session was a little bit of a funny one where I basically began for some period of time trying to have my first attempts against Penance, throw some scans in, start to see a few moves, develop a few ideas on how to tackle it, and just as I was really starting to get into it, I remembered that I didn't do the Remium Temple stuff, and, well, first of all, there's obviously some extra bosses to fight here, so I wanted to do it anyway. And then I thought maybe there's a small chance I can gain some kind of benefit. There might be some kind of prize here that could potentially help me against Penance. And so I decided to come. And so I decided to do those before going back to Penance. So it's been like, it took me maybe an hour or two. I really don't know how long it took. But now I can finally refocus back on Penance. This time there'll be no interruptions as I can really just go back in there, put all of my focus in on it, and try to wrap up this playthrough once and for all. So let me head back to the airship and we'll try to kind of well, I say we, it's going to be more me, because in terms of editing, I'm pretty sure I'm just going to split it and do the start of the session as the later part of the episode so that I don't kind of have this back and forth. So I would have started with the Remium Temple stuff and then kind of rewound the session to when I started my attempts against Penance. And so now we should be fairly seamless in terms of like the watching experience. But for me, it's probably been about a week or so since I had like that first little experimental session against Penance. And now I need to go back and kind of figure out what the hell I'm doing again. So, yeah. I'm trying to remember what I'd established up until this point. I think it was something along the lines of we don't need any more luck nodes. I think everyone has enough luck to hit Penance and the arms. So that was a good sign. And I think I'd already basically, in terms of sphere grid, I already had my first kind of preparation. And we're just going to kind of give it a go with the setup that we have here, I think. So I'd gotten people to different agility tiers, for example. Like I remember, yeah, I was trying to work Riku up to this tier. And the rest of them are all kind of chilling in mostly the same kind of tier. Except for Auron, I would say. Yeah, Auron's the odd one out, but the rest of them are there. Okay. So, in terms of Gil, 43,000 is a pretty nice number. Who can even increase their stats using purple spheres at all? I think the answer is basically no one. Yeah. Yeah, literally no one. Sheesh. So I can't use any purple spheres. There are no more sphere levels to be obtained. This is it. So as of this point, you've kind of locked yourself in. There's nothing you can do about it. So whatever you have now, that's what you've got to work with. Sheesh. Okay. Now... yeah, we've got a whole bunch of things. I really feel like I kind of need to just go back in and start attempting this stuff again before I do anything further. But in terms of items, I'd love to have more Mega Potions, but just don't. Only one Mega Elixir. 12 Turbo Ethers, that's not too bad. I kind of want to go up to 99 Phoenix Downs, but I feel like it's just not going to be that long a fight. It's not going to be the usual kind of Penance experience where it will take hours and hours. It will take me a long time because of the commentary format. But in terms of if you're just really just going at it, it's probably not going to take that long. Okay. I think my main concern at this stage, the final thing I'm going to need to really figure out is probably going to be the armors. I'm going to need to decide how to deal with the armor situation. So I think for now at least what I want to do, just to kind of get a feel for what was happening again, I want to go back into the fight and just see what we're working with and then kind of work from there. Well, I guess the one good thing is that we do have the Magus Sisters now, so if we really want to, they should be able to deliver quite a lot of damage with their overdrive. So it's worth taking a look at that as well. Okay. So let's get back in there. I think I'm going to maintain the same kind of thing that I wanted to do in my first kind of Penance investigation session, where I'll probably give it one fully commentated session where I really just kind of try my best to start to learn the fight, get into it, have some real attempts, of which at this stage I've definitely had 0 real attempts. And then if, let's say, it's looking quite unlikely and I'm going to need quite a lot more time to figure it all out, I think I'll start to just record with no commentary so I can really focus in on what I'm doing. and then probably just do voiceover commentary just to sort of talk about how I did it, hopefully once I've actually done it in the future. So that's the general idea, but we'll see how it goes. Yeah, so we had Seraph, Dexter, and Sinister. We called it Sinister. I think I need to also look into stuff like overdrive modes as well. We've got 2 auto haste that we can do, so we need to definitely have a look at that as well. But I want to really start seeing what we can realistically tank and what we can't. So we'll begin with just going like very defensive. Just put the Sentinel on anyway. Okay. So I have a list of what they start with in terms of their turns. Mighty Guard. Yeah, that still matches up. Heartless Angel. Everybody down to 1 HP, and then Penance's next move will wipe us out, basically. Yeah. And then White Wind. Yeah. So I think the first set of moves are basically always the same. Fine. Right. Let's do... See if we can slow anything down. I forgot if this was possible. Yeah, the arms could be slowed. Fine. Let's see. I think I wanted to experiment with potentially keeping one of the arms down, if I could. Do we have any breaks? No, we don't. Riku almost has a full overdrive, by the way. Heartless Angel's definitely a nice one to charge overdrive. So that's a good sign. Let's see. Just want to see if we really start to tank up here, like double HP, do all of those kind of things. Can we really start to give ourselves a chance here? So, since it's just practice here, we're seeing what we can tank and what we can't. I'm just going to start tossing stuff like this, just to get in as quickly as possible. So, I need to identify boss 1 is Dexter. Okay. So the next thing that was cast was Doom, apparently. Yeah, she doesn't have any kind of Doom proof here. So that was one thing I have to remember to protect, otherwise all of my buffs are basically going to be gone. So, gotta watch out. Oh, full break, huh? So it didn't do that last time. The counter-attack was terrible there. So the white, so the Doom doesn't seem to be guaranteed. It might depend on, it might be sort of, it has criterias for it. It might not be RNG, but it might be like, let's say they have a certain number of buffs. Then that's the case, but let's see what happens here. Let's Sentinel. So Arcane Seal, Dark, and Silence I have noted down here. And if you have protection against all the elements, then it doesn't do damage. Holy crap. Holy crap. Yeah, that's a huge, huge, huge amount of damage. Now I'm starting to remember. Because I literally have it noted down here. I have all elements question mark noted down here from the first session that I did. So I think that one, it basically hits you with all of the elements. And if you have SOS protection, then you'll be okay. But obviously we had the problem there, for example, of full break. So if you're trying to maintain like SOS HP and that full break comes in, then obviously that's also trouble. So there's just a lot of thinking and prepping to do here. Okay, so I wanted to have another quick look at Arcane Seal. I just want to see if there's a way to bring down the damage here other than protecting against all the elements. 3,600 and something. Okay. Why did it do like 15,000 last time? I guess, do I have Protect on Recruit too? I kind of raced through that a little bit. Yeah, okay. So it's physical based. I think that I need to definitely note that down. So it's not magic. It's called Arcane Seal, so obviously you assume it's kind of a bit more magic based, but it is a physical move. So I think that's good to know. Let me see. I'm going to make a note of how to mix some kind of null here. Like, what's the most battle efficient way to do it? Obviously, Ultra Null is a very nice mix here as well. Apparently you can mix two musks together, so I might do that one for this particular fight. So this one gives me a Hyper Null. It's probably enough. For now, at least, I'm still trying to stay alive. Divine Fire, we're just going to be immune to that. Yeah, so I think this is maybe the first time. Actually, no, now it's going to use Ultima, which is going to hit incredibly hard. Let me see. Don't think there's anything I can do here, really. Let's just see if with the magic defense that she has, if she can survive it. I'd need to know if Lulu can survive it. She has 5 times focus and very high magic defense. $8,940. Ooh, interesting. So, okay. Lulu survives 9k damage with 5 times focus. Okay. Now the problem is, if I try to get into like a I want to try and tank everything kind of situation, then it might not work so well because I'm going to need to do a lot of healing. There's a lot of moves here that even if you survive them, the healing burden is very high. So yes, I'm tossing like Mega Elixirs in testing just to kind of get my HP back up as quickly as possible. But let's say after Heartless Angel, you're in trouble. You need to heal very fast. Ultima, even if you can tank it, like you're still taking, like Lulu is going to take like 5,000 damage. Everyone else is going to take anywhere up to quad 9 damage still, even with Shell. So that's going to be a massive heal as well needed. We're going to have to deal with Violent End. It did about 1,400 to Lulu. Calamity, Water. I'm still just generally curious about trying to tank things with the heals and see how we do. So let me get going again here. Alright, let's start to have a look at Riku's armor here. Like, can we customize anything on her that keeps her alive the whole time? So let's just do auto haste for her. You've seen full break in effect. I want to try the thing that protects me from being broken like that. We're going to do ribbon as well. We're going to do... what is it called? Energy preserver. Okay. Because her ability to mix like ultra nuddles, like hyper nuddles, whatever, hyper mighty guard, all of that kind of stuff, is just going to be really useful. Just as like a general thing, I feel like I'm basically going to leave Riku out there the whole time. Now, SOS Null could be an interesting option. Or, another option would be for quick heals, we give her some kind of Eater armor. If I decide to go the Eater route in order to heal more quickly, it could be quite interesting to heal her with something like that. I think since a lot of this strategy is going to rely on heals, it might actually be worth trying something like this. Because we just don't have enough like X potions and stuff to last the whole fight. We need a consistent way to heal. So I think I'll try this. So something a little bit unique. Obviously never had an armor that looks anything like that before. But we're going to try and keep Riku out there basically the whole time. Now, for Yuna, we're in a bit of an interesting situation. 1 MP cast magic booster. Alright, let's take a look. I feel like Yuna's also going to be important. I'm probably going to use quite a lot of magic here. I think one of these is necessary. We know that Doom is going to happen, so we could do that. We have Poison, Zombie, and we have Darkness and Silence. Damn, we're only down to 2 Albed potions after that. Obviously we can buy more of these. This is one thing we can definitely have. But I think I want to minimize having to deal with statuses here. So we'll try something like this. This is a save file I'll almost certainly not be using, but just keep it like that. Lulu. Life Preserve is a decent start. And she already has Sense Preserver on her weapon, so that's kind of nice. So I think we still go Health Preserver here. Might be worth an Energy Preserver for her as well, honestly. But depending if we can get some kind of Auron tank going, then maybe we won't need Energy Preserver as much. Should already be covering. Maybe we give her a second auto haste. Who knows? Yeah, so the next, like, the 2 abilities that she does have, they're kind of for free. Because at this stage, I think she's covered basically most of the problematic statuses. So we give her an Eater as well, I think. So that she can heal a bit more easily. She can just double cast on herself to heal. And then... honestly, maybe Curse Proof's not the worst idea for her. Like, she can just get that kind of demi spam going. I forgot if we could demi. I need to look back at my other chart. Yeah, okay, we can't really use demi. Yeah. Maybe we'll try defense plus 30. I mean, there's also obviously things like auto regen, etc. that might be useful, but since we've got Lightning Eater anyway, she's going to heal a bit more quickly, so let's just try a defense plus 30 for now, just to see how it affects things. And I think for now, I just want to test out the kind of all-girl squad and see how they do with this type of armor and stuff. So I'm going to put in a new save, and we're going to run another test. Alright, here we go. This is going to be the girl power attempt, and we'll see how we go. So we definitely have some better setups here. I was going to say I'm going to immediately slow them, but then White Wind's going to come in, so there might not really be any point. Let's just try and buff first. Just thinking what's the best order to do things in. Let's protect first. It's going to be nowhere near enough time for 5 focuses, but we'll see. So I'm going to start to rattle through these a bit more quickly, just to give ourselves more time here. Okay. Now, this is a good time to Silver Hourglass. Let's test out some healing here. See how this works. 7,000, that's not bad. This time Doom came in, but we're immune. That's good. Yeah, so the arcane thing is coming next. For now, let's just try and do this. Yeah, Lulu's magic defense being that high obviously is not ideal. But I think we're not going to be able to survive Arcane Seal regardless. Like, you need a lot of prep to survive it. Let's just see. Defense plus 30 for Lulu. And a protect. I saw 6,000 and something. Okay. That's just really, really powerful. Divine Ice. Oof. Yeah, okay. I don't like that. Can't afford to be slowed in this fight. Okay, so it's on to the next attempt. We're continuing to throw on a few more different combinations onto armors to see if I can basically start to tank through all of the moves. That's my first kind of idea still. And if I'm really finding that no matter what I throw on there, I'm just getting wiped out and I can't handle the damage, then I think I might have to start looking into kind of having 2 separate armors and getting people to swap armors through the fight. Now, if I had to guess, I would probably say that Karifean probably wants people to do that, like 2 different armors, maybe one for healing, one to deal with the Arcane Seal phase, where you take the hit, you drop down to 1 HP, and then you need to heal back up afterwards, and then probably something to deal with some of the others. But I'm trying to, of course, first of all, find a one-size-fits-all, because if it does work, that's always going to be kind of the easiest way to get through. And I'm not going to deliberately try to make things harder for myself against Penance in the Masters mod. So that's why it might take some time. It's going to take a lot of restarts before I start to find something that might work a little better. But I think for now, at least, that's where I'm at. So we've got 2 auto haste because we have noticed that there is at least one attack that's going to inflict slow on you. And slow is just really detrimental. Obviously, it's always detrimental, but in a fight like this, I think it's even worse, since it's going to be a true kind of 3-on-3 fight for most of it. So Riku has auto haste, and so does Lulu. The reason I gave her the auto haste was because she's already got Sense Preserver on here. She can actually cover quite a few things. And I decided to give her Energy Preserver as well, just as a test. So I do have 2 Energy Preserver people out here as well. And Yuna, she's not in as good a position as the rest. I did put Slow Proof to avoid the slow, and we do have Sense and Life Preserver. But she's the one that's going to be a bit more vulnerable to Seize effects, and we'll just have to see what happens. So I'm going to decide to... So I'm going to go with this particular setup at the moment. I think overdrive-wise, for now, let's just keep it Comrade. I still feel like that's probably working the best. I think once I really get a handle on the fight and I start to make more progress, then I'm probably going to start to look into some different ideas. But for now, at least, I'm taking a shit ton of damage, and so I'm just going to work with that and see how we go. So let's go back in. There's just so many like really harsh things to deal with. It does seem to me like if I can really get everything together, so by that I mean if I can double HP, if I can get 5 times cheer, 5 times focus, protect, shell, all of these things going at the same time, I feel like I might be able to survive all of the moves. And then obviously I can start to build something afterwards and start to decide how can I even attack. But for now at least, it's still the priority to see if I can survive all the turns. And then, if I can survive all the turns, then it turns into, A, how do I heal after I survive them? Because, as I say, I don't exactly have a huge amount of healing resources here. And then it will be like, if I can find a way to potentially heal too, then how do we get onto the attack? So, we'll see. For now, at least, though, just to set things off, we can do this. We don't need to use a Chocobo Wing, because 2 of them already have haste here. And now, from here, I kind of need to decide... how can I get all of the buffs that I need as quickly as possible? Because there's just so many things we're going to get hit by that we need to really be ready for it. I think the first deadly move, truly deadly move here is Arc Seal, and that does physical damage. So I think we need to just start with something like that. So I'm hoping with this setup I can survive at least a little bit. Surely at this stage I need to start getting better at surviving. I think just to give myself as many turns as possible here. Let's just start like this. So we're going to ignore that stuff for now, like the Mighty Guard, etc. We're just going to focus on doing as much damage as we can on just surviving for now. We still have the small matter of Penance's overdrive gauge, which I don't even want to think about right now. It's just like baby steps, one thing at a time. Yeah, Demi's not going to work. White Wind is going to come in from the left arm. I think realistically we need an overdrive from Riku to get the cheer and the focus, otherwise it's just not going to work. I do want to double up HP though. So for now we'll deal with this, Heartless Angel. Just a shame double overdrive doesn't quite get you over the line in terms of an overdrive. But a triple is just too much. Right, from here the next move is going to be, we're going to take a full break potentially, which is a lot of damage, so we kind of need enough to survive that. It could be Doom. Could be some kind of elemental, and then Arcane Seal. So let's start with, I think, some of this. Focus again. So now we need to basically like double up our HP. Or get 5 times cheer to survive. So this one, I mean, there's just a lot of buffs that need to come in. I might have to start looking into some kind of entrust strategy to get Riku to that overdrive, because at the moment we just don't have enough. we steal the turn? No, we can't. She's still too slow. Even with auto haste. Yeah, the gap between Heartless Angel and Arc Seal is pretty low. I think let's do Tetra Elemental for now. Yeah, honestly, I've got a lot of them. I think I need to make use of them in battle here. I think they're a good way to just heal in between these turns. What about Quick Pockets? Yeah, Quick Pockets gets us the turn back. I think Yuna dies here either way. Whoop. Of course, she's the one that got full broken. Damn it. Yeah, I think that means that she dies from Arcane Seal. Pretty sure Oren can't survive it, but let's just make him defend anyway. Let's see if he can. I think he can actually. Yeah, he can. Alrighty. So this one, I mean, I basically need to get to a stage where no one dies from that first Arcane Seal. Otherwise, you're already in deep shit. Because the next move is Ultima, where you can evade that. Sheesh. I think it mentioned it in a in the scan text potentially. But look how quickly that turn has come already. It's so fast, and it's literally going to be Ultima. Let's see what happens if she... I think she's got one focus at the moment. Lunar Curtain. Let's have a look here. I think I need to use the Tetra Elementals, at least at the start of the fight, and we do have plenty of them. I think it's the move. 10,000 still, holy shit. Yeah, really need 5 focuses here, it's not going to work. But I think I'm literally immediately going to go back in. I'm not going to change the setup here. I just want to... I'm going to basically spam the Tetra Elementals here. Because it obviously heals all of your HP too, which is a pretty big factor. And I do have 38 of them. Maybe it's just a very quick way to just kind of heal up, do what you need to do, and then just get on with the fight and really start to do some damage more quickly. So, could be quite promising. We'll see. I kind of forgot that I had that many of them, honestly. But yeah, at least we can get a nice quick start in this fight. But the good thing is that I don't need to double HP quite as fast, honestly. We need to make sure it's doubled before Ultima. Ultima's the one where I need 5 times focus before Ultima, like 100%. So for now, I think we're also good with not having light curtains, potentially. What's the best way to start here? We effectively need all of them anyway, doesn't really matter too much. I think we might as well just start going on the attack here. Forgot how much damage we were even doing. 12,000, it's not great. Start like this. Get through all of these turns. Yes, very heartless. Now, what we need to do is... I'm going to slow the arms again. I still feel like that's a useful thing to do. It takes a while for them to kind of heal up and get rid of the slows that they have. And now, I believe we can... Again, we don't need to worry about protect as long as we have all 4 of the elements protected against, I believe. And hopefully whatever move comes next, we end up... the only thing is that move basically takes away the Tetra Elemental, so you kind of need to... If it does one of those like Divine Fire, Bolt, whatever thingies, you need to make sure you restore it, otherwise you're going to be in trouble. So, let's... I don't have enough turns here, so I'm still going to use one anyway. But then we need double HP and 5 times focus for... for Ultima. So let's see what comes now. Doom. Okay. I'm pretty sure that's RNG now at this stage. That really seems like RNG to me. Now the bad news here is that we don't have an overdrive, and we're not going to gain any more overdrive here. We're lucky we get like 3. It's not going to be enough. We really need like 5 times focus, I think, to make it work. Let's do... Penance itself was not immune to bio. That's one thing. And after that, I think there's little point doing much else, but let's just do this anyway. Get rid of at least one of them. Okay, so now we're all immune to that stuff, but we need to start doubling HP. So let's do that. So, if I remember correctly, if you're protected against all 4 elements, then you take no damage from this move. Excellent. Okay. So that's good. Now, let's keep building up our HP here. Stand on the tablet. I wish when you were going to use one, it already told you, like, it switched, like, the HP menu. Holy... What? Why is that so much damage? Oh, that ruined everything. I didn't have the protects on yet. That's so much damage. Get out of here. I need to start again. I did not see that coming. That was so much damage. So, because a lot of stuff is physical attacks, you've got to remember to still have your protect as well. Ugh. Yeah, I'm slightly... regretting not having triple overdrive on Riku, because then basically one Heartless Angel full HP always gives her full overdrive. Damn it. Did we get any triple overdrive stuff? I think I might have to look into leaving Tidus on the front line, potentially, just for starters. And then swapping him in for Yuna when we're ready. I need that, like, null. It's just not happening fast enough at the moment. So, Riku in. Still get that haste on Yuna anyway. And then we can get her out of there. I'm gonna already just give her one of those before she leaves. So now this is gonna be to try and get Riku a nice quick overdrive here. Honestly, maybe better to just take her out instead. Okay. So... I think still let's focus on the stamina tablets first. Okay. Just get these on anyway. We're going to need them. Right. So now that. Now let's just see what happens here. Doom. Okay, fine. Not as big of a deal. Now what we can do is also let Tidus get hit on purpose here. So we can Tetra Elemental for her. And then Tetra Elemental. That. Yeah, there's nothing that can be done to kind of save the character here, unless he has SOS null everything. Yeah, not quite everything. I think at least do one of these. Okay, fill up the overdrive. Okay. So I'm going to quickly just do one of these. I'm going to try and get Titus back as quickly as possible. Protect, haste. Okay. Now. This did not work out perfectly, but now I think I need to mix a hyper null. So Titus is stuck on the front line at the moment. These attacks are obviously huge. Yeah. Yeah, so something like an Owlbed potion is not going to be enough to heal it here. I think just for the sake of not letting this attempt completely slip, let's just do... but she's going to take poison damage afterwards, but let's just do this. So in comes Ultima, 7,500 for Yuna. She's got Shell and 5 times focus. Okay, it's good enough. So that's positive. So now this is the first time we've survived like that whole rotation, which is good. If next up it is Heartless Angel again, then I think we'll be okay. But really need to try and get Titus out of there, but it's proving quite tough. I don't want to have to use this, but still so many turns. He's just not going to survive them. Kind of want to see how much damage we're doing at this stage. Basically, if I can stop it from using White Wind, I can really just keep... oh, shit. That was terrible either way. I think she's got brakes on, right? She's the one with the brakes. Yeah. I feel like there's a small chance he survives here. I just want to see if it rotates back. Oh, Searing Light. What the hell? Penta-Waterer. Yeah, okay. It's such an elemental fight. It's way more of an elemental fight than I ever thought. So that's why it's getting me to kind of rethink my entire strategy of trying to stay alive. It's like if you don't have elemental protection at all times, it feels like you're basically dead. It's a weird one. Never had a fight like that before. So I don't want to abandon it just yet. I want to still just continue to have another attempt or two. But I need to start looking into like break strategies eventually. But again, like so much of the early focus is just on survival. But I'm really going to have to start going heavy on Tetra Elemental stuff to survive. What about Healing Waters? Do we have any of those? Yeah, we do. So for now, let's do one more stamina tablet here. And then use a healing water. Okay. Fine. Again, we just don't have enough turns. I think since Yoon already has the brakes, I think it's fine. Let's just do this. Okay. Yuna dies but fills up the overdrive. I forgot to toss silver hourglass here. She's been confused. Oh man. It's literally everything in the book. Yes, everything in the book. Now she's berserked. Yeah, I can't cover everything. Yeah, it's rough. And now it's already like Ultima next. Barely had a chance to do anything. This bit of the fight just happened so fast. And again, you just don't have time. I don't think we even put the shells on yet. Yeah, it's just too powerful. Yeah, I think we have to rethink. Basically, I think this is just a general, like, angle that is not working. We need to think about this in a different way. Just so much stuff that it can do to you. It's literally every single trick in the book. Every status possible can be afflicted on you. Yeah, I think my fundamental problem is that obviously now I'm kind of thinking more in terms of what if I try to have SOS null for everybody, kind of all the time. But I don't think it's the kind of fight that you can really live in SOS null for the whole thing because of Ultima. And again, it's just like the maintenance of that is just too hard. You've got Violent End, which does a lot of damage. You've got Full Break, which does plenty of damage. You've got Searing Light, which seems to do about 4,000 and something damage. So trying to keep these guys in SOS but also high enough HP that they survive all of those moves, it kind of doesn't look right to me. I think that's a step too far. So for now at least, it's not looking so good. It is not looking good, my friends. So here's what we're going to do. I think we're going to try teaching Lulu use as well. We do have these spheres, we might as well use them for something. Alright, I just want to find out how things change when Lulu can also use. Because that would mean, obviously, all three of them can use Tetra Elementals on themselves. That's one thing I was struggling with, was basically trying to get the Tetra Elementals back up before the next move happened. So, let's try. So I think I'm still going to go down the stamina tablet first route. At least now Lulu can contribute as well with that whole thing. And well, it's a nice quick move for her to use as well. Okay. Just going to do this for maximum overdrive charging here. this in. Okay. So this is going to be white wind, right? Yeah. So now we have some time. What's the best way to approach this? Let's do... Lunar Curtain first. Let's put that slogan on as soon as possible. Okay. Yeah, already don't have enough turns here. So this is where it already just starts to get out of control. It just depends what's used. If Doom is used, it's fine, but if it uses full break, then someone's going to die. So it's kind of... just do not have enough turns. Let's pray for some luck here. Yeah, no. And again, because of the damage that you take before this, it's just also annoying. So now, actually, this didn't work out too bad. We can do this, and we still survive, right? And now I can get... oh, it's Blizzara. Yeah, I can't keep up with that. It's just too much. Even tossing like a Tetra Elemental every turn, like something constantly just gets wiped away. I'm not sure that's the way. I don't think it's the right setup. Because then you need one more turn, and as I do waste an entire Tetra Elemental just to get like a Null Frost back on. You don't have enough turns to do anything else. Just this nasty. I'm starting to think that maybe this isn't some kind of... there is no real way to kind of try and tank stuff. You just got to freaking go. You just got to do as much damage as quickly as possible. And just kind of stay alive. Kind of do the absolute bare minimum for it. Like, don't try and stay alive with buffs or tanking shit. Just use a lot of Phoenix Downs and rely on auto hastes and whatever it might be. Just really flip and go hard. So I think this time around we're going to try and just basically fight much more quickly here. So I'm going to do stuff like... I'm not going to full break yet. I think it's a bit too soon for that. But I am going to use these Tetra Elementals like early. Basically, covering all of the elements is one of the quickest ways to just give yourself nice cover, I think, here. So let's actually try and do some damage here. Let's see how we go. Yeah, so before Mighty Guard comes in, let's just... ignoring the arms for now. Which does a little bit more damage than Lulu does, thanks to the magic plus 20. I mean, in that sense, it quote-unquote only has 1 million HP. That's not even that much. Just saying. So this is me trying to change my entire approach here. It does heal for quad 9 there, I guess, but relative to the amount of damage we can do, honestly, it's not that bad. Okay, so now, I'm gonna full break. I don't care. I'm gonna do one of these guys. buy myself a little more time. Right, let's see what you got. Okay. See, again, now we're in that situation where we can't cover all the elements. We're stuck. I guess no, it's not true. It's not true. Because now we actually have a turn to use a Null Frost. That's the only one we're missing. So then we do this. And now we have all 4 elements covered. Okay. So, all of our elemental protections are gone, but now might be a good time to just try and mix one of these. Get the elemental protection back, I guess. Calamity. She's protected against that. Okay, so now I want to see what happens if we try and do damage again. How much less are we doing now? Yeah, so this is the problem part of the fight, because this part you can kind of sprint through and you're all good, but obviously once Ultima comes you'll be in a lot more trouble. Kimahri have a sensor? Yeah, but you can't see what it has. I mean, it should have a full break on it still. But I think without Shell it's still not enough. So let's try... Shell. Yeah, see, this is a problem. Violent End comes in, already does a bunch of damage to you. And then Ultima just comes in on top. So just really, really nasty. Like, even if you try to go for a bit more, I'm going to power through kind of idea here. Too much damage. So, yeah, I mean, obviously we could get off a lot more damage there, but I don't think it's designed to be powered through either. Let's keep going. I want to keep messing around with these ideas. So far, at least, we've made no progress. We haven't seen more than 4 turns, I think. No, we haven't even seen Penance's 4th turn, I think. But there's definitely still some more things we can do. We're far from kind of exhausted in terms of the different options that we have. Yeah, for Yuna, we're going to just go the Ultima route here. I mean, it's pretty nice damage, 32,000 on Penance when it doesn't have anything on. That's not bad. Against a naked Penance. So, like, for example, if you want to, I guess you can just copycat this. Probably gets you an extra, like, 10, 12k or something. Yeah, 8k barely. So for Riku, it's kind of not worth it while they're in this particular state. Okay. Right, let's do... I want to use a Purifying Salt here. Okay. Yep. Then we Tetra to at least survive this set of turns. There we go. Now, this is the part where I'd kind of like to full break, honestly. Let's just do this first. Oh, that move is just so freaking powerful. 7,400. Good lord. What am I supposed to do with that? That's just too powerful, man. That's too powerful. There's no way. I should just give Riku like all 4 elemental eating things. That'd just be way easier. Sheesh, man. Wow. Being trashed. Okay, I think at this stage I'm going to roll back to this one. I think the current approaches that we've had, they've not been helping, unfortunately. Just enormous elemental damage that we're taking. Like physical, but also elemental. Sheesh, man. So I need to have a look at what is the scenario here in terms of what elemental protections we have and what we can have, etc. Obviously, one thing you could do theoretically is give Riku all 4 elemental eaters. What even happens with Arcane Seal there? Does she heal everything? I think the difference between that and Null is that I think you still take the statuses, and so it might not be that smart, because then you just, like, yes, you heal, but then you get potentially like nasty statuses. You won't have ribbon, so it's just kind of, I think all 4 elemental eaters I don't think makes sense based on what I'm seeing. All this stuff like Divine Fire, etc. Can I, the Penta Blizzara, the Fire, all of that business, can I basically deal with it like that? I want to load up my previous file and just try seeing what happens when you have a lot of Reflect on, and you just rely on, say, like Healing Water, Tetra Element, all of that stuff to do your healing for you. I'm just saying, if I can keep the fight short enough, maybe all of this, like, yeah, but how am I going to heal business might not be that important. I might be able to get by without it, so I think it's worth one more look here. Just want to see how effective Reflect's going to be in the fight. Because I still feel like whatever I'm going to do, I don't think we're going to do a strat where we're going to kind of defeat the arms periodically and all that kind of stuff. We're just not powerful enough to do shit like that. It's just too much effort. They've got too much HP. Through like double cast Ultima spam, I think eventually I'll take them out. At least once in the fight, but I think it's unlikely. So I'm going to eventually just like manually just put Reflect on everyone and just see how that affects the fight. So we're going to go back to kind of a bit more tank mode here. We're not going to attack. Just want to see what happens with Reflect. We have such an abundance of items. Ah, this was before I taught her use. So there was something that I almost forgot. I had to look back through my photos because I did take a photo of the scan text, and it mentioned that Kimahri can learn Doom. And I remember the Doom counter was 3. So I completely forgot that it was susceptible to Doom and that the Doom counter was that low. And thanks to those photos, I remembered again. And so now I'm going to try to see if I can set up something where I can maybe have Kimahri be a lot more useful in the fight. Because I was basically leaning towards I'm probably not going to be able to take the arms out. I'm just going to have to deal with it and just kind of see what happens, etc. But now maybe I can take a bit of a different approach. So I'm going to keep things roughly the same as before, but I just want to see if I can work Kimahri in and see if I can basically get some overdrives with him and use that to take out the arms a bit more quickly. So gonna give that a go here. Once again, we just don't have a huge amount of time, so it's going to have to be sort of me trying to get Kimahri in there, use the Lancet for the quick overdrive, and then use Doom as quickly as possible, and all juggling basically all of that while trying to make sure we don't get completely wiped out. So I don't think much is going to change, but I just want to see if Kimahri could be a viable character to use for this particular fight. I think Doom alone makes him a lot more of an option, so I'm definitely leaning more and more towards trying to set him up for use in a fight like this. So let's do the Lancet. Learns Doom, immediate overdrive. Use our final Chobo Feather to speed him up. Okay. Alright, let's get going. So now Kimahri uses Doom. Okay. Kind of just want to see how quickly they come back. Okay. So what we're going to do here, Tetra Elemental on Kimahri. Tetra Elemental on Yuna. And then we're going to bring in someone here that's deliberately just going to get hit very hard by this move to charge up Kimahri's overdrive again. So we're going to play the game of trying to basically farm Kimahri's overdrive a little bit here and just see how realistic something like that could even be. So Arcane Seal, Kimahri gets another overdrive. Yeah, Yuna's been confused now. Of course. Let's do quick pockets. Probably not going to be enough to save the day here, but let's just do it. Yeah. Great. Yeah, and it all just falls away. So, again, this was literally just because of confusion. She's got Berserk covered. She's got Zombie. She's got Sense Preserver. She's got, like, Doom, Petrification. Like, she's covered, like, 6, 7, 8 different statuses, but then the one that comes through still ends the fight. So, that's kind of shit. Like, even by the time the Doom works on the arm, you've already got to the, like, Ultima stage. So Doom is nice, but I wish we had Candles of Life. I think for me it's more so I just want to know how long the arm stays down. So I need to at least survive long enough to kill it one time with Doom, but even that's proving quite hard. So far, at least, this does seem absolutely completely different level to everything we've been dealing with so far. It's exactly as Karifean has advertised at this point. So we're nowhere near it at this stage. Like, we haven't even done 10% of it yet. So we're incredibly, incredibly slow at the moment to make any progress. But we'll see what happens. Another one. I want to use it on this one. Okay, at least that way we already get like the first move, and White Wind is one that I definitely want to get rid of if I can. So now, still silver hourglass it here. Who doesn't have one? It's Una. Use Una. Okay, we actually managed to survive, so now we can use another Doom. Well, instead of using another Doom, why don't we just... Since Riku has auto haste, we can always bring her back. Let's just do the full break first. Okay, seal. Yeah, that wasn't so bad. Alright, now we can doom the other arm. Calamity. Okay, could have been worse, I guess. Nah, but now it's Ultima, right? So, again, we haven't quite had time to set back up here. Yeah, it was well survived there, I have to say. But then he got zombified and poisoned. And again, the arms still haven't died yet. So I think I'm starting to increasingly get a picture of what's going on here, but it's definitely also the case that it feels to me like Ultima is kind of the one move where you kind of... there isn't too much you can do, you really have to just tank it. There's no real choice here. So... I really got to be careful with that one. I think as long as I can survive an Ultima, I think I have a chance of at least seeing another stage of the battle. Because for now, that's still the goal. Let's just start to do some of this. Okay. Curtain again. Doom. It's just healing water just in case. Yeah, it's still not enough, of course. It's always something. Fine, let's do... Again, we've just run out of time again. As always, we've run out of turns. We need to get a full break, we need to get like Tetra shit. There's just way too much going on here. There's just not enough time to do all of it. There's just not. Unfortunately, when you start throwing in overdrives, then obviously you just lose so many turns as well that you just can't make it all happen. It's just too many things. So on the one hand, you kind of need to... you need to take out the arms to give yourself more time, but the quickest way to take out the arms is one where you use a lot of time to do it. And so they get more turns before they get taken out. So it's like this weird kind of catch-22. So no breakthrough yet, but let me check another thing actually. Yeah. Okay, I think I have an idea for something, at least. So I'm going to go back to trying to this buff again. So Lunar Curtain here as well. Then what I'm going to do after this one is actually try a Threaten. Basically, White Wind is not going to get used as a result. So I'm basically trying to stop it from using White Wind if I can. So full break here. And then we're going to do like 2 Tetra thingies. And then kind of hope the Orin survives, because it is broken. Yep. Okay. Now, of course, it's Ultima next, so we need to continue our preparation. Yeah, this guy could do anything, really. Right, there's my second one. Now, we use the healing water again, and we see how we do against Ultima. Okay, we survived it once again. So I think this is officially going to be the deepest we've gone into this fight. I think while I'm here, let's just say screw it, and we'll do potentially a Grand Summon here. But first, I think the first thing I want to do is Purifying Salt here. I'm also going to just Healing Water again. I'm gonna Grand Summon. Let's see what the sisters can do. Surely they have to be the ones that have the best overdrive damage. Alright, let's go, ladies. Let's see what they can do. Yeah, I kind of miss being able to manually control them. I need that mod back. Let's see this Delta attack in action. So slowing the arm down with Threaten is definitely working nicely. I don't know if you can eventually combine that into like using Doom on one of the arms and then threatening the other. Obviously Threaten, as I've mentioned a few times at this point, each time you use it, the chance of you being successful with it the next time will go down. So it will definitely work, but only to a point. Yeah, if I can I think White Wind honestly is one of the most annoying ones. Basically my plan is still to try and... that's not enough. They can't break the damage limit either. It's not fair. Honestly, as a result, maybe still better to use like Animal or something. That's lame. Huge damage. And there's that White Wind that I didn't want. So ironically, summoning the Mega Sisters kind of made it worse. So, great. But we are back to the start of the loop. At least for this first form, we know what we're dealing with. Yeah, no turns for you guys. Bye-bye. Look at all of these turns here. Holy crap. Yeah, so summoning ended up not working out so well. I think it is a nice idea if Penance has a full overdrive, but in general, obviously, Not great. And we came back just in time for ultimate. Yay! The brakes have been recovered thanks to White Wind, and as a result, yeah, basically everyone dies. Yeah. So the summon completely destroyed us there, which is kind of sad, but at least we kind of know that Threaten could be a very interesting strategy to use, and basically stop that White Wind from being able to hit. So I think it's worth a bit more investigation into that one. So keeping Oran slow here is actually beneficial, obviously, because of the Threaten working even better. Obviously, if he's in Threaten mode, he can't Sentinel, which is a bit of a shame, but you can't have everything. So let me go back to the drawing board and start to have a look at things once again without White Wind in the mix.